Hello, Scruffy fam. Okay, so the next part of this, can I take my 1022 and turn it into a PRS or NRL22 competition rig? So all the preliminary research I've done said yes, you absolutely can use a semi-automatic in those. They tend not to be as accurate as the bolt actions, is what's said. But I know I've been able to do same hole groups with this rifle. So what we're going to do is, like I said, we are going to replace the barrel. And then we need an optic. So after a lot of thinking and going through my gun safe, what I decided to do was take this Monstrum G2 6-24 by 50 and use this because what I've seen is people said you need to be able to have a parallax adjustment down to 10 yards. And so this one goes down to 10 yards. I was looking at the Vortex Diamondback Tactical. I've got a 4-14 on that. And that parallax only goes down to 30 yards. So what I decided to do was, I've done some scope switching if you guys watch the channel. I took the Diamondback Tactical off of the 270. My 270 is a hunting rifle. It is not a precision rifle. So I actually ended up taking the Diamondback off of that. I have a Nikon Pro Staff that's going to go on the Model 70. So the 270 is just going to have a 3x9, which is perfectly fine. It is a hunting rifle. I have no intention of making that a precision rifle at all. I took this off of my 308. So my Ruger American Hunter in 308 did have this on it. And what I did is I took the Diamondback Tactical and I put it on the 308. If I try to do the NRL Hunter production class, I can do it with my Ruger American Hunter because it's completely stock. And I think that that 4-14 should be perfectly fine for that application for right now. If I need something more, I have a 6-36 as well that can go on there. But this optic can go out there. And it does have exposed turrets, so that's nice. That's one of the things people said to do. You can hear the clicks. It's got parallax adjustment, and it's illuminated, which is actually kind of a plus. It also already has this external throw lever, and I did an entire review on these G2s. I have a G3, and funny enough, I have a G1 on the way, so I'll do a video of G1, G2, and G3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this on the 1022 to be the optic for this. And then when the barrel comes in, we'll get everything zeroed together and tightened up. And we will take it to the range and see what type of groups we can get. We'll get it zeroed. I got a couple different types of ammo coming. We'll do a complete ammo test. But for right now, let's get the optic on it and we will see how big this is on my 1022. This is not a small scope, guys. It's not a small scope at all. So let's bring you guys over here by the bench. All right. Let's get you guys over here by the bench. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing mounted. I'm kind of trying to check and see where I want it to be for eye relief on me. Not a lot of mounting options here, so we're going to put the rings on first. And because this thing is so big, we are going to roll with these high rings. And the cool thing is Monstrum actually sends you these rings. So in the box for Monstrum, you get the rings with everything else. If you guys don't know about Monstrum Tactical, check them out. They are a really, really good company for extremely budget-friendly optics that give you some really good options. So this is actually a first focal plane, which is another thing you're going to want. Anytime you're doing any type of competition shooting, You want everything as consistent as possible, and first focal plane is going to give that to you. There's a couple other podcasts and videos that can speak more intelligently on that than I can. I will just tell you that I much rather prefer a first focal plane optic over a second focal plane optic for just about everything I would do. So you guys know, I did level this already. I leveled it off of here. I have my Avid master gun vise thing going on here. So we got the rings on. Make sure this is fully level. Good, that's fully leveled. We're gonna go here. And there's actually this little cool little space here on the optic itself to put your bubble level. So you can put it there, and then if you need to, you can put it on top also, just to make sure everything's square. And I am good. I'm gonna flip up my optics real quick and get behind here, make sure I've got the right eye relief for me. I'm not worried about getting scoped by this thing, that's for sure. Alright. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna be good. I'll be able to hop on here and be right there. Nice, and I got a good cheek weld, all the things. Good, okay. So that is gonna work out. Let's put all of this back together. Rings on. A little bit of my blue Loctite on there. Alright, when you guys are torquing rings down, make sure you follow the factory specs. These are going to 16 pounds. Okay, so we got this one. And you want to go in a crisscross pattern, so this has a 4 on each side. Or, I'm sorry, 2 on each side. Which I actually really prefer that. I really like when you get rings that, especially if you're doing the 2 rings, where you can have options. The ones that usually only have 1 on each side, not as big of a fan of that. Alright, so move on to the front ones. Still level here. Everything's looking good. So you do a crisscross pattern when you're doing these. And I don't get them all the way to torque until everything is in, and then I'll do a crisscross pattern. Because sometimes if you try to take one all the way down, you're going to crimp something that you just really don't want to crimp. Alright, so let's go to our torque. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go there. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you go back one more time. And there we go. So, here's what we got. So actually, I don't think it looks too bad with the flat dark earth with the OD green. I actually think works pretty well. So like I said, we're gonna put this scope on. It is the Monstrum 6-24 by 50. It's the G2. It is an illuminated reticle, which is going to be really helpful. But yeah, that's the first. So first step was changing out into the Magpul X22 Hunter, and then we put a 6-24 by 50 first focal plane with parallax from 10 to infinity. So we now have an optic that is capable. We have a chassis that is capable. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the barrel. So Part 2, guys. Next thing we'll do is we'll get a barrel on here, and then we will take it to the range. We'll do an ammo test. And I honestly think the only other thing that we'll do after all this is said and done is maybe change the trigger out. There's a BX trigger that Ruger makes. We may change that part out, but after that, we're going to leave the rest alone, and we will see about doing one of the NRL22 matches once I get to the range and get the ammo that this likes. There's a place not too far from here that does the matches, and I can show up and just pay the fee and see what happens. So I'm excited for this, guys. This is going to be fun. So stay tuned. Part 3, we're going to do a new barrel. We'll do a barrel swap on this. Put that Shaw Bowl match grade barrel in here. I'm kind of excited to see what that's going to turn out to look like and see how it performs. So go ahead, like, subscribe, follow, and we'll see you guys next time.